New Thought Live. Musicians, our question is for you today, and quite frankly, everybody else. Are you in tune with your emotions, or do you stomp them down like an out-of-tune timpani? Today, we're talking about spiritual awareness and how that includes being aware of your human emotions and being authentic with those emotions. See, because our emotions are just arrows pointing to what's going on in our perception, our belief system, and our spiritual alignment. We are always one with the infinite, even when we feel like, meh. So that's what Rich and I are going to talk about today. We're going to get emotional with the idea of being authentic with your emotions. And together we're going to explore trusting yourself and using your emotional response to inform your human response, because all we got control of really is our human response. Spoiler alert, there is breathing involved. So that's where we are today, Rich.
Well, that's going to be easy. We do that every day. Breathe.
We breathe. We breathe.
So anyways, yeah. Human emotions, there are emotions that are empowering and emotions that are disempowering. And, I just think that as Abraham says in Esther Hicks channeling, that it's your emotions are what create the reality. And so, my question, Dean, would be, how do you shift your emotions if you're feeling emotionally down about something? How do you shift that up to becoming more inspirational emotion, something that makes you feel good? Because when you feel good, you're going to get good things out of life. When you're feeling bad and down, you're going to get more of the bad and down things.
You're going to get more of that whole not good stuff. The first things first, you got to have an emotion, and recognizing that your emotions, like being mad or afraid or feeling guilty or inspired or optimistic or safe, those are emotions. Oftentimes I'll ask folks how they feel, and they'll say, I'm tired. Well, tired is really a physical experience. That's going to your body and identifying how your body is feeling. I'm feeling tired. Are you feeling irritated or scared or depressed or sad or furious or bored? Those are emotional identifications. So the first thing is to identify what your emotion is and name it. I feel, like for me yesterday, irritated. I feel irritated. It's first thing first. You don't jump to, okay, I feel irritated. Let me be feeling spiritually enlightened. That's as Abraham Hicks would talk about. You don't want to jump that far. First, you need to identify what it is that you're feeling and name it. Naming it. And so if you want a list of names, go to the internet and just type in list of emotions. And there are so many things out there. I got one up on the screen right now because I have one that's multicolored that I use that goes from the darker red to the more purple, content, angry to content. Identify your emotion and then speak it out loud. I am irritated. Okay. You there's your energy, and you're being authentic with the energy. Your emotions are arrows pointing to where your belief system is. I feel irritated because I'm not getting what I want. I feel irritated because you're not doing as I asked or as you said you would do. I feel irritated. I feel pressured. Also, there's some pressure in there because I want to perform at my highest best, and I feel that I'm not quite there. So I'm also frustrated. Great. I'm very clear. I'm authentic with where I am. And I'm being authentic with myself. I don't have to necessarily share this with the world. The first step, knowing how you're feeling. The second step, naming it. And then third step, speak it out loud. or speak it to yourself so you're truly in alignment with the authenticity of how you feel. These are the first steps to coming in alignment with your emotions and to identify what the belief is that you have, because you want to identify the belief, your false belief, if you will, of what has you separated and feeling like you're separated from the infinite intelligence. And you can't be separated from the infinite intelligence. You can't be separated from good or God or love or any of those spirit universe. You can't be separated. We're always experiencing and expressing aspects of those things.
Yeah.
So that's, and those are the terms that we work with, that with our super seekers, our community, we then take it from there and help folks experience and express their own sense of authenticity and point them in the direction that they have chosen. Help them, guide them in the direction that they have chosen. We're kind of spirit guides, you and me, Rich.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to add something else to that list that you had. Replace. We talked about the other day, recognize, okay, the emotion, recognize the thing that's making you emotional, rejecting it, not by rejecting the emotion, you got to go through the emotion, but reject the thing, the idea, the thought that is creating that emotion, if it's fear, doubt, worry, negativity, and replace it with something more positive. And so when you work with Abraham's scale of emotional scale, you start at the bottom. Where am I with this emotion? And then you take thoughts that lift you a little higher to the next emotion. So if you're in fear, you want to get more into the ultimate, which would be faith, the belief in something. So then you work on that. You take the next step up. I don't have that chart with me, Dean. Maybe you have it with you.
I've got it with me. I've got it with me.
Abraham's emotional scale. Start with something you were feeling. You said yesterday or today. What was that emotion?
I was feeling irritated. I was feeling frustrated.
Okay. Where's it on the emotional scale?
Well, on this chart, and I don't have the Abraham chart in front of me. I've got a different emotional chart in front of me. Okay. I use what I call an emotional zip line. In my work, it incorporates a lot of the psychological emotional scales that are out there, and to work with my musical metaphor. But if we want to just take it really quick, and we gotta run from here because we're coming up on 7 minutes. Taking it from furious to insecure to drained to wanting to feel important, wanting to feel connected, and wanting to feel grateful. That's taking a few leaps, but it's going up that emotional scale slowly. I tell a story about a client I had once a long time ago, dear person who was feeling depressed, deeply depressed. And long story short, I said, doesn't it kind of make you angry that you feel so depressed? Yes, she said, yes, it bothers me that I feel depressed. I'm like, it just really makes me feel angry. I feel angry that I'm so depressed. And we started to talk in terms. I said, okay, how do you feel right now? Depressed or angry? Well, I'm not so much angry. Do you still feel depressed? And she said, no, I don't feel depressed. She went from an emotional place of depression and up the scale to anger, which I wouldn't say stay at anger, but it is a higher emotional value than depression. And she felt better. Now there's, again, that's not the whole story. There's other things to be done. There's other paths to be taken. And before we go, I want to just say that it's my belief that nobody makes us feel anyway. I believe that our beliefs are what we choose our emotions.
Yeah.
We choose our emotions. You have a choice. And I think when it comes to emotional authenticity, you have a choice. Identify it, own it. It's the first step. And there's plenty more than that. But before we go, hey, let's do a spiritual plug for New Thought Tuesdays.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
Well, Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We do
Yeah.
New Thought Tuesdays. Go to newthoughttuesdays.com, sign up for reminders, and you'll receive the private Zoom link, and we'll all join together. Rich and I, as you may well know, we talk about a particular spiritual topic for 20 minutes, and then we all go into community to discuss it and take it even further. And you are welcome to join us in this group that we call Super Seekers.
There you go. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.